I was so nervous on our first date that I nearly turned around before I even reached the restaurant. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and one thought kept repeating in my mind. What if she meets me and realizes I'm not the man she was hopping for? But when she looked at me across that small table, smiled through the silence, and said, "I think I just met my future husband," something inside me changed forever. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the possibility that one unexpected moment can change a person's life, please like, comment, share this story, and subscribe to Kindness Space. Your support helps these emotional stories reach people who may need a little hope today. My name is Daniel, and at 32, I had almost stopped believing that love was meant for me. I wasn't rich, confident, or successful in the way people often imagined a man should be. I worked long hours repairing office equipment, lived in a small apartment, and spent most evenings alone. A few years earlier, I had gone through a painful breakup that left me questioning everything about myself. Since then, I had built walls around my heart and convinced myself that being alone was easier than being rejected again. Then my younger sister convinced me to try a dating app. I almost deleted it the same night. But one evening I matched with Emma, a 30-year-old woman whose profile said she valued honesty, kindness, and simple moments more than expensive lifestyles. We started talking, and surprisingly the conversations felt easy. She never asked how much I earned or what kind of car I drove. She asked about my childhood, my favorite food, and why I always tried to help strangers even when I was having a difficult day. After 2 weeks, she suggested meeting in person. I agreed, but as the day approached, my confidence disappeared. I stood in front of my mirror for nearly an hour, changing shirts again and again. Finally, I chose a simple blue shirt and dark jeans. On the way to the restaurant, I seriously considered calling her and saying something had come up. But then I saw her. Emma was sitting near the window, wearing a simple cream-colored dress, her brown hair falling naturally around her shoulders. When she noticed me, she smiled so warmly that my nervousness became almost impossible to hide. I apologized for being late, even though I was 5 minutes early. She laughed softly, and somehow that small laugh made the entire room feel less frightening. The first 20 minutes were awkward. I spilled a little water on the table. I forgot what I was saying halfway through a sentence. At one point, I even dropped my fork. I expected her to become uncomfortable, but instead, she smiled and told me she was nervous too. As the evening continued, something unexpected happened. We stopped trying to impress each other. We talked about our failures, our families, the dreams we had abandoned, and the people who had hurt us. Emma told me about a time when she had trusted the wrong person and spent years believing she wasn't good enough. I told her about my breakup and how it had made me afraid to open my heart again. Then came the moment I will never forget. She looked at me for several seconds, smiled, and said that she had expected our first date to be ordinary. Instead, she said she felt strangely safe sitting there with me. Then she quietly told me, "I think I just met my future husband." I thought she was joking. I laughed nervously and looked away, but when I looked back, she was still smiling. She wasn't making a promise. She wasn't pretending to know the future. She was simply telling me that, for the first time in a long time, she could imagine one. Those words stayed with me after we said goodbye, but life tested us quickly. A month later, I lost my job when the company suddenly closed. I felt ashamed and started pulling away from Emma. I stopped answering messages quickly and avoided meeting her because I believed she deserved someone more successful. Instead of leaving, she came to my apartment one rainy evening. She didn't lecture me or try to fix my life. She simply sat beside me and reminded me that losing a job did not mean losing my worth. That night, I realized something important.